Just loading up the troops, heading down to Mohawk for the Mohawk Millions and for Taiwan's race. Going to talk about Dominics barn now. A lot going on with Dominics barn. I talked to Dominic today. Some horses coming in from the field. Some horses need to be moved around. Some horses coming back from Ohio. And Globetrotting is heading to Pennsylvania. Sailor is heading to Southern Ohio. I warned everybody. I told the race office I was going to do this.
No, I just want to,
Can you talk? We're doing a video here, Amy. Jeez.
Sorry.
Anyway, I told the race office, listen, we're happy to participate. Are we going to close that door?
Yeah, we were thinking about it.
Okay. I'm happy to participate. This is Daniel. I'm happy to participate in Ontario, but I'm going to need to know which classes are going to go likely. And not, I don't need to know it written down on a piece of paper with a question mark beside it. I need to know what's going on in Ontario. So for those of you out there, if you believe that it's important to fill the cards, and Tony O'Sullivan has an impossible job. An impossible job. He's trying to put together a puzzle with many, many pieces missing. And I feel bad for the guy. But I'm going to tell you right now, we have resources to buy horses and bring them to Ontario, and I'm not bringing any until I know they're going to get raced. Because I don't know if you're aware, but for me to uproot Globetrotting and send her to Pennsylvania is going to cost me, what, $1,200 in shipping? Then I have to race her in a jurisdiction. We had her here to race here. She was ready to race in Ontario. But I'm not racing her against our other horses. I'm just not going to do it. So I am going to call. I don't know who's going to watch the video or if anybody cares, but I am calling on Ontario stakeholders to put together, there needs to be a list of horses that are readily available in Ontario that people can look through and say, okay, if I buy a horse for this class, or Tony O'Sullivan can say, hey, I need 4 horses to fill fields in Ontario in the non-winners of 5. Guess what? I'll go buy one for the non-winners of 5. So will Carmen Osiello, so will Richard Moreau, so will Rob Fellows, so will a litany of other trainers. But we can't do that. I can't convince him, an owner, a client, to come and buy a horse with us that I don't have a place to race with any certainty. It's impossible. And I'm going to continue to preach this until somebody does it right, because you're not doing it right now. Anyway, I'm on to Dominics barn. Don't care if anybody forwards the video to the Woodbine or what they do. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Dominics barn, absolute euphoria. She's actually down with Cindy right now, and I saw her train. I got a video of her training. I just sent it to Ken York, gentleman. I met Ken once, I believe. I met him once. And he owns a piece of absolute euphoria. That's a filly that Brent Hopper, Kyle Gray, Ken York, myself own. We gave her time off last year. That's a filly with the big giant head that was in shed row. Did you see her head? It looks like the front end of this car. It is the biggest horse head I've seen in a long time. It is unbelievably massive.
What is it, a buff head?
It's a head like yours was. And he had that giant afro in Australia. I thought you had a nest of birds in there. Anyway, absolute euphoria is coming along good. She's been in 25 and looks really, really good. Anchor's up. We castrated him. He's coming back. Looks good now. Brace for Landing is in Monday or Tuesday. Mark is driving him. He's got the rail in the Poconos, I believe, this week. I was kind of hinting to Megan, we'll see how he races this week. But if he races good, and I hope he races good, we might take that horse to Kentucky. I'd like to let his hobbles out, get some of the weight off him, that softer surface in Kentucky, and let that horse stretch out. He's still immature. He's still growing. But there's a lot of speed there. I wanted 56 of them easy at the Meadows. And then I was third, beaten fair and square in 55 at the Meadowlands, but he hadn't raced in 2.5 weeks going into that race. So, Brace for Landing, he's not with Dominic, but he's on Dominic's list. He's actually in the small barns with Megan. Cunning Connie raced great in the elimination, finished second. She looks good for the final. Globetrotting, as I just said, certainly not Dominic's fault. It's just circumstances, but we're going to send her, I believe I'm going to talk to Megan tonight about taking Globetrotting to the East Coast with her. I think that would be a fantastic fit. Horn Player's out in the field. We'll bring her back around December 1st. Are you in on Horn Player? Yeah, I love that.
I've got a Horn Player too.
Do you? Oh, cool.
Sweet Lou.
He's got a Sweet Lou named Horn Player. Yeah, and you also have a horse named Resolute Bay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Glare AM, I trained at Glare AM at 2-1 at First Line, 5/8 mile track. She made a little break at the half-mile turn, and somebody said that's actually a half-mile track turn. It's a little tight. They all kind of get a little a little tight in that turn. I can see why, but I'm glad she made a break, because it allowed me to take a very serious look at what I was looking at and remember how globetrotting was when she was 2 and 3, and made some changes to her that I think will really, really help. I'm looking for a qualifier in 57, maybe even 56, depending on the temperature on Tuesday, and get her going for the fall. A horse, Lady All-Star, is ready to go. You guys saw she got plowed into. This is how dialed in this filly is. She got plowed into in the qualifier, got taken completely out of the event, come back trotting, and had the intelligence and the mental fortitude to catch herself, catch back trotting. 1 mile 2.6. She had to come a half 59, 30 seconds on the end of it after getting plowed into her first ever time behind the gate. What you would call a green trial.
Yeah.
So Lady All-Star is going to requalify on Tuesday. I said everybody, she was actually qualified to race at Flamborough. She'd gone fast enough. The break was clearly an IX. She could have raced at Flamborough or London, but I think another qualifier is fine. We'll qualify. I'd like to see James go mile 2-1 or 2-2 with her. This is, people forget about this. This is Crantini's first cousin, Lady All-Star. Do you remember that? Yeah. Yeah, she's a beautiful filly.
Cordial Martini.
That's the same family, yep. Yeah, exact same family. So, landing pad is at the field now. Going to give him lots of time and bring him back. You want a big chunk of landing pad. I remember that. So he looked good, a little mentally immature, and then he banged his leg on the gate and got a buck shin. Yeah. But he's fine. He's at the field now. We'll bring him back. We did castrate him too, by the way. So if you're worried about breeding mares to him in the future, it's not going to happen.
Did you ask the owner if you could castrate him?
No. Well, I did. I asked the managing partner. You're talking to him. So, landing pad, we castrate him. I didn't want to. I love the horse. I just think he's going to be a much stronger, more mature horse for it. I really, really like this horse, and we were barely scratching the surface with him. And, by training so many horses, you really get to see the difference between a horse that's ready to go right now as a 2-year-old and a horse that isn't. Yeah. It's not speed. Yeah. It has to be the total package. They have to mentally be ready, physically be ready, and then stay healthy, stay sound. And at that point, now you have a racehorse. Yeah. And not until.
Oh, yeah. That happens all the time, yeah. Yep. If a horse mentally is not there, you turn them out, gild them, do whatever, and then they come out.
I mean, you've been in the business for 90, 100 years now.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
No, 87 actually.
87. Matt's MVP raced good the other day. Dominic thought the hobbles were still a little tight. The 2 10 holes in a row. His horse, first 2 starts back after a long laugh. He drew the 10 hole both times. Yeah. So he'll be back in to go next week, hopefully without the 10 hole. Merchant Man drew the rail, I see, for Tuesday. James is driving him. Again, another horse where his hobbles could go out a little bit. I was really impressed with him. His first lifetime start, trotted 57-4. First time. Yep. So a good mile for him. Red Overbach is going to race Tuesday in the pop-up series final. He's in with Sailor, isn't he? Or is he in with Globetrotter? No, he's in with Sailor. He's in with Sailor because James picked Sailor. Yeah. So a little. Again, I couldn't be any more angry over it than I am. Sir Strong is not with Dominic. He's over in Ohio. Actually, we're turning him out. He made a break at the gate, come back, trot him out. 2 minutes, last quarter, 29, last half, 58-3 at Northfield. He was really, really good. Had he not made a break, now he has to qualify. So now we got to qualify him, waste another week, and then his week to race would be the week I'm in Kentucky. Yeah. I said, you know what? Let's just turn him out and let him grow up. I like the horse. I think he's going to be a good horse. Tactical Mounts is not with Dominic either, but has been fantastic. I think Dominic deserves a lot of credit with this filly. Sure, we trained him down and we worked him and worked him and worked him. But the latter part of her training leading up to her racing, she was still very, very green, very rough, very hot. And Dominic did a fantastic job with that filly. She is what she is right now because of that latter part of her training, at least a portion of it for sure. So a lot of credit belongs with Dominic Gladue in that regard. And then White Tiger. Who's that horse? He's a...
Unbeatable Kemp.
Ooh, Unbeatable Kemp. I told you there was horses missing. Unbeatable Kemp looks great. How do you train? You didn't tell me how he trained.
Trained good.
Yeah. He trained good, so I expect Unbeatable Kemp to have a big year. This is the first time we ever did this. We squashed the entire stake season with this 3-year-old to get him ready for the latter part of this season to race him at Mohawk. First time I ever did that.
Yeah.
I looked at Kentucky and said, he's not going to Kentucky. He's on Lasix. I do not agree with the Kentucky program with no Lasix. I know you guys don't have Lasix over there, but as I said, with all the Western stallions you're breeding, buckle up. I believe that, I truly believe that Lasix is perfectly fine for this industry because it does level the playing field. And Unbeatable Kemp was not going to race in the stake races against those horses all season long in Kentucky without Lasix. And you know what? He's shown he can trot 50. What do you think, America? 53 or 54? 50. You say he's trotted 53. He trotted 54. He won at least once or twice in 54. And I truly believe that this is going to be a really, really, really nice horse. We did the right thing turning this horse out in the summer. He will prove me right throughout the winter. And it's the first time we did it. And I think it was with the purse money at Mohawk, you don't need to be chasing horses in the heat of the summer that you can't beat. He's going to put on a performance this winter. I'm almost certain of it. And then White Tiger has been incredible. His 2 fastest miles of his life were his last 2 starts. He was great the other day. He was great the week before. And I know I had a lot of people asking were we going to race him. We had the opportunity to race him tonight. I turned them down. Flat out said no. I was not racing him back Monday, Saturday, because that person right behind me right there, if he happened to make a break and she was sitting in the clubhouse, there would have been a small fire started at the table. So I decided the horse has been racing good. Let's not push and push and push. He's done more than we've asked him to do for a while. Everybody knows he's an underachiever, and everybody knows that he can do exactly what he did. I'm absolutely not surprised that he took a mark at 52-1. In fact, I think he'll break that mark at some point in his life. But this is the first time in his life he's starting to look consistently good. Why would I race him back in 5 days and jeopardize that? That's just stupid. So we skipped Saturday. He'll race a week from Monday. So 9 days from now he'll race. Dominic can take him over and train him Wednesday or Thursday at Mohawk. That's the other beauty. We have a 5/8 mile track, a good training track at the farm now, a decent sized track, and 10 minutes away is Mohawk. So
I'm just going to train him at the farm on Wednesday.
I don't. This really seems fine to me. Whatever you guys want to do is fine with
I'm
me.
just going to go teach him flying.
That's fine. Whatever Dominic wants to do, I don't care. I'm not there Wednesday. I'm going to Northfield on Wednesday. So I think I'll come back Thursday morning also. They have me the 15th again, or the 14th. That's right around 11:45. They race the 14th there. Northfield likes to push it right up against midnight. So I'm going to race Wednesday there. I'm going to do some training for next week. Friday I might have to go to the Meadows. Do we have the ability to leave Friday morning, Amy, after the kids get on the bus? Is that an ability to do that?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll go to the Meadows and then go to Kentucky. Does that sound okay? I think it's 5 and a bit hours from the Meadows, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought you had to drive on Saturday at Dayton.
Oh, you are right. Well, we'll just stop by. We gotta go past Dayton and go to Kentucky. So we'll just drive to Dayton on Saturday. And I forgot to tell you also, now that you say Dayton, on the way home I have to stop and drive the Constellations on the Saturday also. The Saturday at the 8th is the Constellations of the, I don't think it's
I just have to be home by
no, it's just Saturday night after racing Dayton, that's all. So we'll stay in Dayton Saturday night, get up and drive home Sunday. So anyway, what were we talking about? Dominic's barn, I think. That's Dominic's barn, plus a lot of other banter. We'll talk to you all very soon. We still have Jason and Mario's barn. Be back in just a second.